Hey there folks, John here from Biddy Kong's Quest, and I am really excited today because I just got a package in the mail that I've been waiting for over a year, and that is my PlayDate. And some of you guys may have heard about this system. It's a little yellow Game Boy looking thing, but most people know this because it actually has a crank as a control mechanism on the side of it, and this is something that's really unique. I mean, I don't know of any other handheld that had a crank. And so I'm kind of excited just to see what's up with it and what it's all about. It's got some other really cool features on it as well. And you know, I've been waiting over a year to get this because you know, I ordered it pretty much the minute they went on sale. And then we had a situation where they were short on, you know, chips and stuff like that. And, you know, that's kind of become a big thing lately, where it's just like that seems to be the excuse for everything. I assume that's the reason that I'm still waiting on my Analog Pocket as well, which, you know, hopefully will be here by the end of the year. And getting back on topic, we are actually going to do a really in-depth video on this thing with the history of the company and the reason they made it, and you know, really just going deep dive into this thing because it is really cool and it does some really cool stuff. But you know, while I'm working on that, I wanted to go ahead and just unbox this with you guys and you know, just share my excitement of even having this thing because you know, I think it is just so cool. So without any further ado, let's go to the unboxing, and here we go. Okay, so this is the PlayDate, and we've got two things here. One is the actual unit itself. You can see that is still in the plastic wrap. You can see by the way that it reflects light there. And then we have the cover for it, and it literally says cover right there. Now, this one we're going to go ahead and take, and we will unbox this thing, but we're going to set it aside for now, just because, you know what, we don't have anything to put a cover on, and we're going to focus on the system itself. Now, like I said, this is the PlayDate, and it's by a company called Panic, which also is actually a games publisher, and I'm going to make a whole video about it, so I'm not going to get too far into it here. But it's honestly a pretty cool little box, because this graphic right here has little indentations for where the D-pad and the two buttons are, and the crank as well. So it's actually an embossed cover, which is actually pretty cool. There was no reason they had to do that, but that tells me that there's already probably going to be a good amount of care and detail that's going to be put into this packaging. On the back, we have a quote from them. It says, "We made PlayDate just for fun. This little handheld game system fits perfectly in a pocket. The screen is black and white, the buttons feel great, and the flip-out crank, yes, gives games a whole new spin. But the best part, PlayDate has a whole world of original gaming surprises waiting to be delivered directly to you. Well, let's have some fun." And that seems like it kind of is the design philosophy for this whole thing. And you'll have to forgive me, I was reading the whole thing upside down because my camera is flipped compared to what you guys are doing or are seeing. That's just the way that I'm set up. But without further ado, let's crack this thing open. So I'm going to get my little spudger tool here. And again, this is normally what I use to work on boards, but it's great for removing plastic wrap without damaging a box because it's kind of got a blunt end here. So I'm just going to stick this right in between the plastic wrap. There you go. All right, now we have a handle hold. We're just going to rip this off the rest of the way. There you go. So now we have the PlayDate, and we're at the box, you can see. So I'm going to set that aside. Shouldn't need that again. And we're going to take the cover off. We're going to see what it looks like. And there it is. So that's the PlayDate. Oh, and it looks like, oh, this is kind of cool, actually. We'll point this out. So there was a little foam pad in here that has cutouts for the buttons. And it's actually, you can see, actually, I don't know if you can see it with focus, but it's actually attached to the box. Like, I can't move this. Again, no reason they had to do that. It's just kind of a cool little add-on. They totally could have just put a little foam piece right here and it been fine. But hey, you know what? This is a very intentionally packaged device, it seems like. And you know what? I dig it. I think it's cool. So we'll set that right here for now. And then this is the PlayDate, and it simply just says, have fun. Now that's really been their marketing the whole way through, but this thing is just, you know what, this isn't a device that necessarily even makes a whole lot of sense. It's just, this is a fun project that we wanted to do. And I've been working on a history video for Panic, the company that made this, and just kind of the history of how the PlayDate came about. And the story behind it is fascinating because they kind of set out with an idea that they knew didn't make a whole lot of sense anyway, and then they decided to push through with it and ended up coming up with something really, really cool. Now we have the this little have fun here, and this just kind of comes out, and I'm assuming this is just the charging cable. Yeah, see, this is a very specific color of yellow USB cable, and it's USB-C, so that's excellent. Very happy to see that. And you know, this is obviously just the USB-A part, and it's how you plug it into your computer and download games, which that's going to be a really cool part of this too. Not going to be in this video, but you know, I'll highlight it in that history video, kind of like I did for the NT Mini Noir. That's what that history video will be like. So it should be a lot of fun. Should be very detailed. But let's go ahead and get our PlayDate itself out, and there it is. So that's our PlayDate. And now this screen is actually not backlit, which is an interesting choice. And you know, at first I didn't really understand it, but after doing some research into just kind of how this thing came about, it makes a lot of sense because they were really wanting to capture kind of an older experience, and the influence for this was actually the Game & Watch, not even the Game Boy, which obviously didn't have a backlit screen either. So when you play this, you know, you gotta have a lot of light, but it's pretty cool. Now, for those of you that don't know what the PlayDate is, basically it's a little handheld system, and you get 2 games delivered to you every week to play, and you know, it's gated. So basically, when I turn this on, and I'm going to turn it on camera so you guys can kind of see what it looks like. But when I turn this on camera, you're going to see it's going to give me a little intro notification, then it's going to start downloading games, and so there's going to be a couple of games that I can play right away, and then every week from that point on there'll be a new game, or 2 new games actually. And in addition, there's also a whole developer library that you can download, and you can even develop your own games for this thing, so it's actually pretty sweet. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and just take a look at it physically here. So we've got the crank, which is, you know, the thing that everybody was excited about, and there it is. There's that crank, and it just, oh, that's smooth, man. That feels good. So I'm afraid it would be a little clicky, a little gimmicky, but no, it's this thing feels nice. That's really cool. So I'm going to take that, and you can see it's got a little slot right there on the side, and that's where the crank folds into. So you just kind of do this, and do this so that the camera can see it, and you spin the handle a certain way, and then it just kind of folds right down, right into here. And again, when I do that big video, I'll do a close-up of that so you guys can kind of see. But there it is, and then you just pull it right out. Try not to get my fingers on the screen here. And there it is. So it's really sick. So we've got the power button, we've got the D-pad, we've got the A and B button. These are kind of clicky, feels pretty nice. You got a headphone jack on the bottom, and then you got the USB-C charging / data port right there. And I'm assuming that's a power button right there. And this is just a function button for games, I guess. I think I may have said that was a power button a second ago. I think that's wrong. I think this is probably a power button. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. And you can see on the back it says PlayDate. And it's got the little model number and everything. And it's pretty cool. So I'm going to set that aside for just 1 second. Let's see what else is in the box, which I think is just these instructions. Yeah, just these instructions. So it says, welcome. Thank you so much for buying PlayDate. To get started, press the lock 3 times. And oh, it's a screen. Oh, there's a screen lock, I guess, up here. You're supposed to press it 3 times to get started. We'll do that in just a second. If nothing happens, first charge your PlayDate with the included USB cable. And that's it. And so there's some tips. You can do sleep mode, do some other things. Again, we'll go through all of this in the in-depth video. That's not what this unboxing is for. But we're going to go ahead and set that aside for the moment. And let's focus on the device itself. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom my camera in for a second because we're going to go ahead and push that thing three times, and we're going to see what happens. So here we go. All right, and I'm going to have to hold this thing just so you guys can see it because of the light. But let's go ahead and make sure I'm in focus here. and let's see what happens. So, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. It says something. It says a thing. Oh, let's see. So it gives me a little warning there, and it says I can either skip the intro or I can continue. First time I've ever turned this thing on. I'm not going to skip the intro. Of course not. Let's see how this goes. Oh, that's cool. It's like a little dude and he's waking up. That's super cute. Can I turn the volume up here? Oh, he's telling me to hit the up button. Okay. First, before we do that, let's check the instructions and see if there's a volume button. I don't want to be missing any audio here. Hold the menu button, while pressing left and right on the D-pad to quickly adjust the volume. Okay. So we're going to do that. So hold the menu button and press that. Oh, there is audio. There is sound. All right, good. I'm glad I did this. All right, now we're talking. All right, so you're saying push the up button. All right, so let's go ahead and push that up button. Whoop. What? Oh, cool. Oh, sick. So we need to push A. Oh, and we got a crank. We got to do the crank. Here we go. Dude. That was sick. I love it. Love it. That was really cool. And that seems like the design philosophy. It's fun for the sake of fun. Yeah, I mean, when was the last time you booted up a console and it had something like that to show off the features of the system? I mean, really sick. Okay, so it says, hello, welcome to PlayDate. We are glad you're here. Let's do a little setup to get started. Now, I'm assuming this is the part where I'm probably going to have to set up my my Wi-Fi and everything. So let me do that real quick. I'm not going to do that on camera. And then I'll come back and we'll see what it does. Okay, so now I have linked my device to my account. And it is downloading an update, which of course it wouldn't be a console in 2022 unless it had to do a day one update. However, so it's got this downloading 1.12.3 of the PlayDate software, and then I'm assuming we're going to get into the part where it's going to give me my first 2 games. So we're going to go ahead and let this fast forward, and we'll see what happens. Okay. And so now it's got the update, so we're going to press A to continue, like it says. Oh, and there we go. It's done. It says it's updating. And this little blue light came on here at the top. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, and I got fireworks. It's playing the system update. Check that out. It's exactly what we want. I'm going to fix my focus again here while I wait. There we go. That's better. Oh. Hey, look at that. What time is it? It is right now, as I'm making this video. We're going to date this video right now. It is 10:57 p.m. We're going to press A to continue. And let's see. So what is this? QR code. Would you like to send metrics to help us make PlayDate better? You know what? Sure. I don't think that this thing's probably going to collect a whole lot of data. So we'll go ahead and hit enable. And then press A to play. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. Whoa. Well, that was sick. Well, we got 2 games. Okay, cool. Whitewater Wipeout. And what is this? What is it called? Casual Birder. So these are the 2 games. Now I'm going to go into these games a little bit more in detail on my my in-depth video, but I can go ahead and hit A on Whitewater Wipeout. We'll see what happens. This is made by Shuhai Labs. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, that's cool. Man, that speaker kicks. Alright, let's see if I can play this backwards. Crank to play. Okay, so we're gonna crank. Let's see what happens. Oh. Okay, so that's how I... Oh, so you crank to... Oh, no! And I fell. Alright, let's try one more time. Oh, I did a little jump. That's cool. Another jump. Alright, how much can I jump? Oh, no! Ah, I didn't do so well. That's okay. Oh, I got first place because there's no other place. Sick. All right, cool. Let's do this and go home. Let's find out what happens. All right, so let's go ahead and do this next game. Let's see what happens. See if I can play it upside down too. This one's called Casual Birder. Oh, this one's got files. This one has save support. Alright, so, start a new game, snap yes. Oh, what is this? Okay, got a little car. Oh, okay, well kid, here we are, your new digs. What is this, an RPG? I already moved your stuff in, so you're all set. You're a pretty brave kid moving to a town like this. Do you even know anything about bird photography? No, I don't. I do not. Let's see. You're gonna have a rough time here if you can't at least handle the basics. You got a camera on that phone, right? So this seems like this is a little RPG. There's a Bobby sitting around here somewhere. See if you can snap it for me. And don't forget to focus with the crank. Oh, okay, so the crank lets me focus. All right. So, okay, so you go over to the bird that's sitting here on the bench. Oop. If I hit A, guess I should send some people my new address. Oh, okay. Oop. Okay, so I guess I get close enough to the bird. Oop. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. So let's focus. Okay, so there's the little bird moving around right there, so I'm gonna hit... What do I hit? A? Oh, I hit A. I got a picture. You got a new bird! The black-bodied Bobby. And that's way too small for me to read. So that's where I'm going to stop. But this looks pretty cool. I'm going to put a bit more time into this one. But for now, we're going to go ahead and just hit my lock button here. And when you hit the lock button, it goes into a little clock mode. So you could actually put it up on a stand or whatever and just have a little away screen, which is also pretty cool. Again, very much like a Game & Watch. You know, when you had a Game & Watch back in the day, or even if you got the new ones, you know, it's got the little clock screen. Well, this has a clock screen too. It's again very, very similar to a Game & Watch, and I think that's pretty cool. So that's where I'm going to leave this for now. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at that cover as well. So I'm going to zoom back out real fast so you guys can see everything. So we've got our Playdate here. Now let's protect it. We've got our cover. And let me get my little tool again. All right, so let's get this out of here. It says you're covered. Just pop your Playdate into this magnetic cover, then flip the flap to keep your Playdate protected in your pocket. Perfect. I think I will, because I think I'm going to take this with me to work this week. Put it through its paces. So here we've got just this little guy. It's almost like a little. I mean, it's magnetic. It said, but it's kind of like a little leather folio kind of dealy. So it's got a little just foam insert right there. And then, yeah, okay, I see. So basically, you just put it. Oh, and that must be what these little grommets right here are for. You've got these little. I don't know if you guys can see it. These little silver specks right here are actually protruding from the case. They're little like metal pins, and then you just pop your Playdate right down into them, and it kind of just lines up and sits in there. So now you see you can't see the metal pins anymore. It's sitting flush because those pins are resting inside your PlayDate. And then you just take your crank, we're going to go ahead and fold it back in, and then fold it right over, and boom, there you go. And it's even got these little indentations for the buttons, and the menu button right there, and then also even for the lock button, which is pretty cool. So very well thought out little case, very simple, almost like a little iPad case, and I like it. I think it's really cool. Now, the last thing I want to say about this thing that I'm really impressed with, man, this thing feels like really solid. Like, it doesn't feel like a cheap device like out of China or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with those devices. I have a couple myself, but this kind of has a different feel to it. It has a bit more of a premium quality. This plastic that it's made of, and it is made of plastic. It's not made of metal, I don't think. But it's rubberized, so it's got a little bit of a grip to it, which is nice. And overall, yeah, I think this thing's really, really sick. It's really, really cool, and I'm very happy to have this in my collection. So there you go again, closed, and then you open it up, and there's your PlayDate right there, which is pretty cool. So there you go. So with that, let's do the wrap up and see what happens. So that was the PlayDate. And I gotta say, I am super impressed with this thing, not just in the build quality with, you know, how nice this plastic feels, it's nice and rubberized, how great that screen looked, the quality of the crank, and, you know, even just the case, how it's just got that little magnetic, you know, kind of feel to it. It just feels like a really, really quality machine. But, you know, the thing I'm most impressed with, honestly, is just the sheer creativity it seems like went into this thing. Like, the people that made this thing care a lot. And, you know, I think that's evident even just by that startup screen that we saw. And I'm really, really excited to see what comes to this thing over time. And, you know, speaking of that, I am going to do a really in-depth video on this thing, including the history of, you know, why it was made, about Panic, the company that made it, and all that other stuff, and also a deep dive into the technicals and also the games and everything else. But with the way this thing works, you know, you only get 2 games a week, and the first season of games has 24 games in it. So I'm not going to do that video, or not going to release that video anyway, until I have all 24 games and I'm able to actually take a look and do a really comprehensive review of this thing. Which means that that video will probably be out in probably November or so. And that will be another deep dive video, you know, just like my NT Mini Noir video, you know, some of the videos I've done on some homebrews, that kind of thing, that we really go into the story behind it. And I'm really, really looking forward to that video. But as a thank you to you guys, because, you know, honestly, it's been kind of a tough year, and thank you guys for sticking with me over this year of just not really having a lot of content. You know, I wanted to go ahead and cut together a preview of my next video that I'm doing, which is a deep dive video, since I know that that's what some of you guys subscribe for, and it's on a little Famicom game called Kokorone. And, you know, it's one of those ones that I've kind of had on the back burner. I've kind of been working on it for a while. I actually recorded the entire thing once already, and I really wasn't pleased with how it turned out, so I went back to the script and kind of retooled some things, and you know, and re-recording it and all that stuff. But I wanted to go ahead and cut together a preview for you guys and kind of show you, you know, what is going to be coming here in the next couple weeks or so. And, you know, I'm really, really looking forward to getting back into some more of these deep dive videos. So I'm going to go ahead and say like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. You know, stay tuned for, you know, what's coming, because, you know, I'm hoping it's going to be really great. And, you know, with that said, we'll go ahead and show you guys the preview, and we'll see you guys next time. This is Kokorone, a little-known Famicom game which bears the legacy of one of the greatest gaming franchises of all time. Many video games which are mega hits today came from humble beginnings. You have to wonder if the creators of games like Final Fantasy, Zelda, and even Mario had any idea of the impact that their creations would one day have not only on the gaming industry, but popular culture as well. But then you have lesser-known games, ones which could even be described as obscure. Games that may have been all but forgotten, despite the massive influence they might have had on the games that we play today. Hey there folks, John here from Biddy Kong's Quest, and today we're going to be covering one of those obscure titles. And this time, it's from the Famicom's library. It's a fascinating story that involves some of the most influential figures of the 8-bit gaming era. It's a story about dreams, the creative spirit, and even a mysterious disappearance. And it would all end in the creation of one of the NES's most famous and ludicrously expensive titles. And it all starts with this unassuming little cartridge. This is the story of Kokorone. And there's a lot to cover. Here we go.